welcome to Baobab Chats. Today, I feel so honored to be the one welcoming everyone to this exclusive chat where we get to pick the brains of the guys behind Baobab Chats. I mean, we've seen you guys facilitate, we've seen you in the comments, we've seen you roll out content every Saturday, 6 p.m. sharp without any hesitations, without any glitches. So today
Mhm.
I have the pleasure of chatting with Herbert. Hi, Herbert.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you feeling to be in this hot seat?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you're saying the brains. I don't know whether I'm the brains or the ear or the mouth, but I'll take it. It's not a bad thing to be called the brains, but yeah, I'll take it.
Definitely, you guys are a good team together, so it's good. So I'm so excited because
Yes.
I get to chat with you because
Uh-huh.
we've seen you facilitate so many conversations,
Hmm.
and I'm sure at the back of the minds of many viewers, it's like, who's
Yeah.
this guy? Who is Herbert? We see him as just Herbert, Italy over there, but who is Herbert? So please introduce yourself to us. Who is Herbert?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I mean, our viewers are very broad, so I don't know who is asking. Okay, but at any given time, I'll say Herbert is a techie guy. That's my passion. That's my areas of my career as an individual. I also like to see how social media actually can help other people socially and be it educationally. Not only to just be there to play. Of course, you're supposed to be there to enjoy yourself, but at the same time, you should be able to get benefit something out of it, just not just being there. And personally, I like controversial issues that also on social media, you should be able to ask questions and questions probably that you are not in a position to ask I mean,
Mm.
ask the status quo, like, why are we doing this? Why are we not doing this? Is this really good, or is there some questions that are never spoken about? And this is what we do here in Bible Chat. Sometimes we really have to ask those questions, and it enlightens a lot of people. And this gives me very much satisfaction that there is someone suffering having the same view as the person who is in panel. So you're probably actually helping another person there. That's who I am. I like this whole balance of controversy, really.
Awesome. So I guess you're in the right group then, because
Yeah,
pop-up
exactly.
chats, you have such
Yes.
great conversations that are so heated, and some conversation when you're like, we don't really get to
Exactly.
talk about this, so we are talking about it. So definitely, it is you, and
Definitely, this
it
is
makes sense now.
this is where I feel very comfortable and feel like, okay, we spoke about it. You never had to speak about before, but probably it was burning in you. But now we spoke about it, and we are happy that we spoke about it. We now know how each other feels or have a view about the same issue. This is very important for me.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
what is your area of expertise? I guess in Bulb Chats, what do you do? Do you guys just do a bunch of things, or is there an area that you specifically focus on for yourself?
Well, for me, I think my area of specialty based on my career is actually also doing the technical stuff, the IT stuff. Um, I'm also developing in other areas. I mean, the other thing that we do in Baobab Charts is that you don't have to specifically limit yourself
Mm.
based on a career. You can try something new and to a very good platform to learn quite a lot of things because we're a small team. There are so many things that needs to be done, and probably barely nobody knows about it. But we have to
Mhm.
spend time, learn how to do these things. And one of the days, boom, you're a facilitator. You have never facilitated, but how does that work? Just learn. I mean, something you're not a pro, things will work out. I mean, experience would always teach you. So I am more for technical part and like talking about in social media, but social media not on the aspect of really being the user per se too much, but mostly from the technical perspective and also understanding how it actually impacts people from a from an educational perspective, not necessarily
Okay.
like from a research perspective to say how
Mhm.
it impacts people's morals, behavior, moods, and all these other stuff, but not necessarily from, okay, let's talk about this perspective.
Oh, all right. So
Yeah.
I've watched you guys since March when you guys
Okay.
have just started, and I
Yeah.
always see that Stanford is in Sydney, Lennon and Paul are in South Africa, Herbert
Yeah.
is in Italy. How do you manage those crazy time zones? Because you're not in one time zone where you're all awake. It's either one person is awake, the other one is supposed to be sleeping, but you're awake. So how do you manage it all? How do you get it to fit into your schedule? Because you're already busy with your own career. Now you have Baobab Chats. So how does it all fit in?
Oh, well, if you want to do something, you do it for sure. But if you don't want to do something, you have an excuse for everything, to be really frank.
Mm-hmm.
There are a thousand excuses, really. Like I say, for me, I mean, prior to this interview, I had a very long day, but I'm here now talking,
Mm-hmm.
having this interview. It's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of effort, a lot of things that you have to put into. For you to have something exceptional or something different, you have to do something different from what an ordinary folk is doing. So, but if you expect to do the same with an ordinary folk and expect something different, then this will never work at all. So there's a lot of effort, time, ability, and sometimes we work really hard. We should be, I mean, it's a lot of work, I should say. I mean, just being here, it's a lot of work. I mean, having an interview with you, a lot of work, I should say.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So, what has your journey been like with Baobab Chats? Have you always been here from the get go, from the beginning,
Mm.
as the seed was planted, or did you join
Mhm.
in? What has your journey been like?
Well, we started. I was here from the beginning. We started having the conversation. It's really one of those things that helped me and actually gave me a sense of satisfaction in the sense that what you have gone through, or when we have different points of
Mm-hmm.
views based on experience, what we think, what we have seen. This is very important because you're not the only one, or someone just wants that advice to take them from point A to point B. And this has been one of the things that even people who wanted to say something really feel like they want to let something out of their chest would actually say this and feel that they've contributed something to the society for someone who's going to see this. And people are actually coming with heartwarming and supporting messages to us that, okay, guys, you're doing really great. And I mean, we have a great team. Trust me, we have a great team, and I mean, super proud of them. I mean, like their efforts, everything. It's really tremendous. Sometimes I'm even humbled by the efforts that they put. Not necessarily me, but most of them. Sometimes, even if you're down, sometimes you're like, no, 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 I'm tired with this pop-up chat. Someone just wakes you up at 2 a.m. and sends you a message like, ah, guys, I've done this. Like, hey, guys, some of us are sleeping. Now you feel obliged to wake up and do something even if you didn't want to. So it's a lot of that support is there. I think you know what I mean. Like that support is literally there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that when you are down, someone just does something that actually makes you go like, yeah, guy, I'm up again. Let's move this. Yes. So this is a very great supporting structure, I should say.
That is awesome. That's so
Yeah.
good to hear that you guys have that bondness where you are able to pick each other up. It's not just
Yeah.
when one person decides to quit, then you're like, yeah, sure, let's do this. But you're a
No,
very supportive team. I love that.
it's very it's not. I mean, like when we are talking and people seeing us every day on every Saturday, sorry, on Baobab Chats, people think it's an easy game. It's it's not.
So I want to give you an opportunity to reflect a little bit. So in
Mhm.
your 20 episodes, Herbert, not five, not two, but 20 episodes, what has been your most memorable one?
Well, my most memorable one is the gender based violence one that I did, and I was also on the panel, and it gave me a sense of reflection that there are two things that I learned from this. Is that sometimes we get in a situation whereby it's so grave that we even lose our logical reasoning,
Oh,
because anything else that we are doing is kind of in a sense of I am in this situation. So everything else happening is because of this situation. So
Mm-hmm.
even the logical part or even protective measures that you're supposed to take, you don't want to take them because you are just suppressing yourself in this logical part where you say, okay, I'll give an example in this case that, okay, maybe a human. So if anything happens within the context of maybe you've been someone assaults you or something like that, you don't want to protect the measures because it's like, oh, we need to be always be free and stuff. Yes, we know, but the world is not that perfect, so we need to take protective measures at this moment. We all want it to be perfect. We
Mm-hmm.
all want it to be exactly where it is. But at any given time, we should also take protective measures. I don't think we want to sleep locking our doors. We just want to leave them like that. But we
Exactly.
know that thieves are there. So they're going to come and steal. So the
Mm-hmm.
best option is to do what is to take protective measures, put a locker and then lock it, and I don't have to be. This is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one thing that I've learned that we can be in such situations and don't see that kind of perspective. And then the second one was like people want to say out really how they feel. Um, this is very important, and sometimes they don't want to do much. They just want to just say it so that the world really knows and feel that they've done something about it,
Mm-hmm.
and start movement and really let people know what's going on. This is very very important. So that was my memorable one. I did a lot of reflection on that you have also people with different views and your view
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, and they will literally have an opposite extreme view of your view, and you
Mm-hmm.
should be okay with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, this
Oh,
is this is my memorable one.
oh, wow. You guys have been doing such an amazing job. Like I said, to me, I was telling even the rest of the team that when I miss your show on Saturday, I feel like
Mhm.
something's a little off here. How comes I didn't log in? You just feel like that something is missing because you guys are always on time and with your content. Your content is
Mhm.
so relevant and so
Yeah,
important. It's not just another, just a chit
just yeah,
chat,
chat.
with a cup of coffee, just girls or whatever. But it is topics and conversations that are so relevant, so important, and which makes it even easier because I find myself on those Saturday afternoons for me,
Mhm.
I still continue with those conversations with my family. And I'm like, oh,
Exactly,
so you see, it still
exactly.
continues. It doesn't end when you guys are like, bye, but it
But
continues in our household. How does that make you feel when you hear that people are actually finding the content that you guys are creating valuable and important?
well, it's a great sense of satisfaction, really, because I mean, for me, we have achieved something, or we are achieving one of the principles and the goals that our charts are not, they're not based on this is right, this is wrong. This is based
Mm.
on one's experience. So if you have an experience that changes someone else's life or their perspective, you might literally change their whole entire perspective at all,
Yeah.
and can turn around someone's life by just saying what you went through and what you did. And you can also create connections in Baobab Chats. You can also make friends after this panelists. Oh, guys, we can talk later, and we can also start meeting people. I still have my invitation that I got from some panelists that I'm supposed to still go to Scotland. This is also one of the benefits of being on Baobab Chats, and
Yeah.
this is really, I mean, the content that people really like the content. They want to talk about it, and they even suggest some of the topics that we need to talk about. This is very important. At least we're getting some engagement from the people. We're not just posting content or creating content that's not doing anything. And we
Hmm.
also get encouraged by the number of the views that we see after a week or 2 weeks. And sometimes some of the videos are around 500 to 600 views. And then we're just like, okay, wow, this is really, I mean, this is really
Hmm.
impressive and encouraging. So this gives us a lot of strength to keep on the
Awesome.
good work, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now, with Bob Chats, you guys
Yeah.
do not talk about topics that are just anyhow, random, that you just thought, today I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that. But you guys talk about topics that are relevant to Africans. So I want to
Yeah.
hear from you, Herbert. What is your vision for our continent of Africa? What is your vision and your desire for Africa?
Well, to be frank, if I had all the powers in me, I would really have shifted. I would just want to be Africans to be on the same trading platform as any other nationality or someone from any other. I mean, it gets to my heart that I've traveled quite well. I should say I can categorize myself as a well-traveled person, but in many cases, in all the countries that I have been, I always see Africans cleaning toilets, begging for money, working in restaurants, doing this and that. And in some countries, when I actually visit, they look at me funny, or when I'm sitting at the table with them, they look at me funny, like, how did you come to this? And this is not supposed to be happening as far as I'm concerned. We should be all trading in the same platform. It's not supposed to be an
Exactly.
unusual thing. And I do not know why our African leaders are not fighting for this, to really like to say, go to Middle East, to go come here, everywhere. We are always mostly second class citizens doing menial jobs, and we have to work twice, if not thrice or four times. For
Mm-hmm.
us to be exactly where we are, you worked like if you had worked like this in your own country by now, I think for me, I would have been some, I don't know, really very top guy. But it's a very long road for us. I just need us to be an equal trading partner. In other countries, even if you come from Africa, you get paid very low because you're just coming from Africa, not necessarily anything.
Yeah.
Probably doing the same job with
Mm-hmm.
this other person, but just you come from Africa, you get low. This is something that needs to be corrected, and at the same time is it has to. I mean, everybody has to be treated the same. For me, it's very important. Either you come from Asia, from every, give us the same trading platform, it treated the same, give us the same conditions of trades and everything. If the world is really willing to empower us, let's empower, move together, and actually say, oh, we discovered this. I think you can also do it this way with your resources, and let's trade. And you've got this, we can do that. But we are trading on the same level basis, not to give some different powers that at the end of the day we are always marginalized. This is not, for me. This is very. I get hurt a lot about this. Yeah.
Me, between you and me, Herbert, no one else
Mm,
is watching, just you and
mm.
me. What can I look forward to in season two? Because I'm already itching. What's happening in season two? What do you have in store for us?
Well, yes, in season two, probably we're going to see a different way of doing things. Probably, I'm talking about probability here. Probably we're going to change, uh, depending on the statistics of our social media. We might suggest to say, okay, is it the timing, is it okay? We need to look into other things, feedbacks and stuff, and reshape and analyze what we did before. For me, I'm based on numbers. For other guys, they also have experience in media and say, okay, this is like this. For me, I'm just like, let's look at the numbers. What are the numbers saying? If the
Mm-hmm.
numbers are saying that we're doing very well, or when do we get more hits, what happened to this video, and all this. So we try to learn and also learn on how others are also doing it. How do we
Mm-hmm.
become engaging? What do we become interactive and stuff? So we might introduce some other new technologies. We might remove some other things if they're not really becoming effective. We try to make sure that we engage. It should always enrich, because for us, it's more like especially the structure of this before, like that we have right now, is just like
Mm-hmm.
we were trying to make most of the conversations to say, where are we now, and what can we do, and where do we want to go, and what can a person, if they look at this video, what are they going to take home? I just don't want to spend the whole entire hour and then I don't have anything that I've actually got. It should be entertaining, yes, but I should get
Exactly.
at least be something. So we want to see whether this still remains or applies to all our conversations, or part
Mm-hmm.
of the conversations,
Mm-hmm.
or all of them, or it's the same, some selection of the conversations can only be done like this way. So there's quite a lot of things that still needs to be done.
And
Always evolving. This is we always evolve. So you can have something very interesting after season, after we come back, and then say something, and then the next session there's nothing. It means probably we are testing something new, we are trying something new. So we are always evolving based on users' feedback, viewers' feedback, our feedback. How do we feel about it, and something like that.
Awesome. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Herbert. I am so glad that I got the privilege and the honor to talk to you guys and pick your brains and get to know you just a little bit better. Now we kind of know who Herbert is, and we're looking forward to seeing you in
And so,
season 2. And I am so excited. And I just want to thank you guys for the awesome job that you're doing with Baobab Chats. You're getting us
mhm.
Africans to think outside the box. You're getting us to have those difficult conversations. You're getting us to teach even our children in our home. It becomes a little bit easier because you guys have done the part a little bit for us. So thank you so much, and don't get tired.